Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, in the United States, President Trump has taken credit for the dramatic diplomatic isolation of Qatar by Gulf nations, saying perhaps this will be the beginning of the end of terrorism. His trip to the Middle East last month, he says, seems to be paying off. Well, our Washington correspondent Kylie Morris joins us now. Kylie, what impact did President Trump's trip actually have?
Well, at the time, Jackie, President Trump claimed that its most significant achievement was a kind of united stance amongst Gulf nations against terror. You'll remember that extraordinary moment involving the orb and the laying on of hands of President Trump, Egypt's al-Sisi and the Saudi king. That was at a new counter-terrorism centre that had just been opened in Riyadh. In fact, though, here we are just a few weeks later with Gulf states turning against one of their own. And who is cheerleading from the sidelines? But yes, President Trump. He's just sent out a tweet a few hours ago saying, so good to see the Saudi visit paying off. They said they'd take a hard line on extremism, and all reference was pointing to Qatar. Now, this must come as a bit of a shock to Rex Tillerson, his Secretary of State, who only yesterday said the US was going to play a mediating role in this crisis. And today, the Pentagon has been thanking Qatar for the role it plays in hosting the biggest US military base in the Middle East. 11,000 service personnel playing a critical role in the coalition flights over Syria and the campaign against the Islamic State. So none of this really makes much sense at all until you factor in Iran and the fact that this administration is desperate to isolate Iran, as are the Saudis. So that means today we have President Trump waking up, deciding to drop a key ally. It is enormously worrying news to all US allies, and also doesn't really give you any confidence that this fight against terror is a very well organized or very well managed campaign.
Kylie Morris, thanks very much. Michael Bloomberg is the former mayor of New York and the founder and CEO of Bloomberg LP, a financial services, media and software company. Matt Fry has been talking to him and began by asking how well he thinks the UK and London Mayor Sadiq Khan have reacted to the recent terror attacks.
I think your mayor is doing exactly what he should do. You make sure your police, which you've invested a lot in, do as many investigations and preventive actions. You assure the public that life will go on, that they're as safe as they are per capita in a big city, that there's dangers every place, and you urge them to go out in the streets and partake of the great things.
So he said exactly the right thing?
Exactly everything. Yes, and I would have said the same thing, I hope. I think I did.
So what does it tell you about your president, Donald J. Trump, that he got onto his Twitter feed and basically criticized the mayor for his response?
I have no idea. You have to ask Donald Trump. I can only tell you what I would have done, and I would have done exactly the same thing that Sadiq Khan did.
So you disagreed with what Trump had to say about Sadiq Khan?
I didn't even bother to read what he said.
He does want to come here for a state visit. I mean, he's...
That would be an interesting time.
Why?
Because it's hard to go and visit people when you're controversial. It's a nice way to phrase it.
I've been getting away with it all my